feed issues have been resolved. Still waiting for word on an armed robbery suspect barricaded inside a Walgreens in West Olympia, where a large law enforcement presence has the area staked out. A large number of special response team members have entered the building, appeared to be either securing or searching, and no word yet on suspect or suspects. Um, whether the building has been completely searched, whether any sort of innocent bystanders of employees or uh, store patrons, whether there were any in there, whether they were hostages, whether they were hiding somewhere safe within the store. All of that still remains to be sort of ferreted out. The law enforcement presence outside the store has still got the surrounding roads and parking lots cordoned off. Approximately 30 law enforcement vehicles, including specialty vehicles and command center vehicle on site. We've not seen lots of movement on the part of law enforcement inside the store, but not heard any audible commands or uh, yelling, shots, anything like that. The door to the store has opened several times, so uh, no evidence of anything noteworthy at this point. We have responding vehicles from local municipalities, uh, as well as county, as well as state patrol. And probably upwards of well, we're not going to get into specifics about what's going on in the store or who's in there, but needless to say, a large presence of SWAT team and special response team has begun the process of searching or apprehending, securing the store. They made multiple attempts, probably 25 that we saw. Uh, Loudspeaker call outs asking anyone inside to come out with their hands up and no weapons, knives, or cell phones in their hands, things of that nature. And there was never any response or visible presence of anyone through the store windows that we could ascertain. If you are just joining us or didn't see earlier, we're about 50 bystanders now. Looks like it's dwindled to about 20. Had some interesting conversation with some folks who've lived in the area. I think one of the gentlemen said 7 or 8 years, and commented that crime, in terms of intensity or seriousness of crimes and frequency of crimes, has gone up markedly in the last 2 years. Before 2020, there was occasional retail theft, shoplifting, but few and far between. Um, Certainly no appreciable organized retail theft rings like are operating currently, and certainly not a multiple times a day um, occurrence, as is easily discernible by police blotters or online social media, Facebook, Nextdoor, um, scan our websites and Sirens Facebook pages, as well as not just retail theft or organized retail theft, but violent crime skyrocketing as well in the last 2.5 years, with armed robbery becoming a very, very common thing in this area of stores, which was almost unheard of 2.5 years ago. A lot of that is attributable uh, by critics, including myself, to some drastic changes in the law surrounding reasonable suspicion, probable cause, and the ability to apprehend suspects, the ability to engage in pursuit, and the ability to engage in high speed pursuit. All of those issues were curtailed and um, really hamstrung by some drastic changes in the Washington state law due to the Washington state legislature, and have had a devastating effect on the efficacy of law enforcement. Just seen a couple pedestrians walk by, who one of whom was wearing a negotiator uh, reflective patch on the back of her jacket, and assuming that may have been a crisis negotiator for the sheriff's department. But one thing we haven't seen is any visible um, fire or medic staging nearby, so that may or may not be taking place depending on what happens, or they may have a medic unit on staging a little bit further away. Now you can see the robot, very small. I don't know if we can see it coming out of the door. There was a almost like a radio controlled car, small, low to the ground, uh, approaching the red vehicle in front of us. That uh, there's the negotiator pedestrian from a few moments ago. So the special response team that was here was using, first they did some work with a drone, and then also was like a four-wheel robot to go in the door of the store, ostensibly with cameras so they could see what was going on or who was where. No word on what they saw or what they found, of course. And as far as from this side of the store, this the main entrance, the only entrance, none of the special response team members have come back out of the store. That may be for a number of reasons. So that, well, one team member coming out now, uh, looks to be controlling the robot, wheeling back to the SWAT vehicle. But the remainder of the two special response teams that went in, unless they uh, exited through what one bystander was saying is an emergency exit on the far side of the store, um, then our assumption is that they're still in the store. In total, there were looks like there were about 25. Another specialty vehicle approaching the scene. This is the State Patrol SWAT vehicle we saw earlier. Large, intimidating, can carry a lot of personnel. A lot of tactical gear as well. But not apparently. We'll just hold that thought. Still no further presence at the door or visible through the windows of the law enforcement that response that's gone in through the front door. Some of the bystanders theorizing maybe entered from the emergency exit on the other side of the store or the drive-through window of the pharmacy, which is also on the far side of the store. But typically, our experience, haven't seen. Typically, you won't see entry team going in from two opposite or adjacent directions just because of the huge liability with crossfire and mistaking who for who. If there's the door kicker is the point man with a shield, and they didn't really even do that in this case, which didn't look like they entered under ready to shoot or with shields up. It's hard to see because there's large columns obviously right in front of where we were trying to see. But once they were in, most of the team looked to just assemble kind of in the open in a stand down or relaxed position inside, uh, indicating they may have seen what they needed to see via the cameras, either drone or the remote robot that went in. Now we see about half a dozen SWAT members and a canine coming out.
driving back and there was some random person around.
With that many cars surrounding,
Yeah.
he's hiding. He's like, okay, I got A, Whitney,
I know a lot of people.
the last one that didn't take automotive. That's why I just sounds like that's why I'm getting so hard.
Like, I'd rather go out peacefully than get shot at.
I'm going out on my own.
Shoot you, they just bring you faster. Like, oh, he's there now.
What at this point, like, if you're just
That random song running.
That's they skater too so like this guy's a little bit of like that's
Obviously, if the canine is no longer inside, the assumption is that they've either cleared the building and not found the suspect, or they've found the suspect and apprehended or neutralized him. There's another half dozen SWAT team members coming out, and a few more.
Does it sound like they're loading their weapons?
It did.
They're loading their weapons.
Oh, a lot of them are.
Yeah,
Or they're
they're
unloading them.
loading their weapons up. Unless they're no. They're pulling it back. They're not loading it up. They had it loaded in.
Once again, we've not seen any evidence of responding aid units. That often is the case if shots were fired or a suspect was injured or tased or sprayed. And the special response teams, have, for the most part, or at least over half, have exited the building. So it's not clear whether they have anyone in custody or if they've cleared the building. And not found anyone. The more likely answer, in my estimation, is that we've got some kind of resolution, because there is a very large store with lots of areas for somebody to try to barricade or hide. So to be able to clear that building in 20 to 30 minutes and not find anything, I would expect you'd see them continuing to search the building. Although if the canine didn't find anything, they may declare the building clear and assume that the suspect was not inside, or they may very well have the suspect in custody. But typically, in cases, even if someone's deceased, you'll still see fire or medic response. If you're just joining us, we are in West Olympia outside of a Walgreens that was the site of an armed robbery about 2.5 hours ago. There would be an armed suspect barricaded within the store. It was surrounded by law enforcement. We didn't have confirmation whether there was an actual uh, single suspect or multiple, whether there were any store patrons caught in the store or employees. But the site seems to be winding down. There is fire now beginning to respond. Uh, or I take it back. There's a fire. Not clear whether they are heading off from having staged nearby. Looks like that's what they're doing. So they're not responding to the site. They were staged probably on the other side of the building in case of the need for a medic materialized. And special response team officers continue to exit the building of the Walgreens, still with no apparent no clear details on whether the suspect has been apprehended or in custody, or whether even anyone was found inside. Attempting to again to see if we can get briefing from law enforcement. There were at one time probably 40 units, vehicles, cordoning off the road all around in the parking lots nearby the Walgreens where the armed robbery took place at about 7:30 tonight. Now we're looking at about 25 units or so, and several specialty vehicles from the Washington State Patrol SWAT team, the Thurston County Sheriff's Office SWAT team. Over in the far corner, you can see the Thurston County Sheriff's mobile command center, kind of a semi with a communications center inside. We had a crisis negotiator, or someone wearing a negotiator jacket, walked by about 15 minutes ago after the scene appeared to have cleared.
See, my cat's on my other cat together. Are you keeping warm over here? Your hands?
Toes are freezing. You guys have blankets and bathrobes and all
I live
kinds
back
of stuff.
home. I told you I live down the street, you know. Yeah.
Well, you guys were talking about other incidents going on tonight or this week.
Tonight.
What
there
else took place
was,
tonight?
Like there was a stabbing at the Fred Meyer and Lacey.
Well, so that's about 10 miles east of here, right?
Yeah.
And what else?
And then on I believe it was 4th or 5th, there was a lady passed out at the wheel. So there was someone checking on her for that too.
And then, was it last night or the night before? There was a dead body found in downtown Olympia
That does not surprise me.
farmers market.
At the farmer's market too?
Yeah, last night.
Well, a lot of homeless die this time of year too, because of the weather and stuff. So
It's supposed to be getting down to 17 degrees in the next
I think Josh was saying at one point,
6-7 days.
one winter they were finding like one homeless person every morning, like dead from like weather and stuff. But that's really dramatic.
I haven't heard that. That sounds pretty
No, it
dramatic.
sounds pretty dramatic. I really want to know what's going on. Well, that's a good thing, right? I'm hoping he just gave up inside and then it's done.
Well, they're all leaving, so it has to be done. And there's no like medical aid rushing in there, so we'll just have to check them out. Hey.
Checking to see if we can get an update from law enforcement about what's taking place, and looks as if they may actually be letting. Looks, I'm going to say civilianish looking folks going in, almost as if they may be store employees. Not wearing any colored vests or anything like a cashier, but certainly not wearing any tactical gear. A couple of middle-aged gals. So slowly but surely, bit by bit, the individual units are starting to thin out. And we're waiting on word if we can get a briefing from command staff for law enforcement. The large tactical vehicle. Well, no, that's not departing. That's a Washington State Patrol SWAT vehicle.
Dude, if you sit on phone 22, those aren't stuck. Those are phone 22. Why the fuck doesn't pop that phone 22? Dude, most of these cars right here are personal vehicles.
You see the mobile command post for the Thurston County Sheriff's Department departing. The SWAT team tactical vehicle is loading up and looks like it's getting ready to depart. Hi there. Yeah, can we get a comment from?
So I can't give comments. That would be Lieutenant Paul Lauer. You're going to have to call him.
Is he still on scene?
Nope, we do not have a PIO on scene. So most news agencies will have his number already, or you're going to have to contact the main station in the morning, okay?
From OPD.
Correct. Yep, Lieutenant Paul Lauer.
Thank you.
Yep. You guys have the main desk number?
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
Have a good night. So Lieutenant Lauer's in OPD, which is surprising because it looked as if it was, well, it may be OPD. I'm not sure how the order of affairs took place, but once the SWAT team comes in there doing their thing, and so we'll see if we can get some further details and possibly at least update, not likely with another live stream, but with another post on wherever you're watching this live. Stay safe. Have a good night.